The first time it happened, no one noticed. It was a quiet town called Alder's End, tucked between rolling hills and a silver thread river. The kind of town where porch lights glowed warmly at dusk and the bakery bell chimed exactly the same way every morning. At 9:07 p.m., Mrs. Calloway yawned while folding laundry. At 9:07 p.m., the twins on Maple Street stopped arguing mid-sentence. At 9:07 p.m., the night shift nurse at the small clinic blinked slowly and never finished her sentence. By 9:08 p.m., every single person in Alder's End was asleep. Not drifting. Not dozing. Asleep. Deeply. Completely. And naturally. Except for one. Eli Harper had never liked bedtime. He liked the quiet, sure, but not the stillness. Not the way the house creaked when everyone else slept. That night, he was under his blanket with a flashlight and a book about constellations when he noticed something strange. The crickets outside had stopped. Not gradually. All at once. He frowned. Then the porch light across the street flickered off. Then the lamp in his parents' bedroom. Then the television glow in the house next door vanished. Eli lowered his flashlight. The entire town had gone dark. At the same time, he slipped out of bed and tiptoed to his window. Every house was black. No moving curtains. No passing headlights. No barking dogs. Even the streetlights had dimmed, glowing faint and blue instead of gold. A chill crawled up his spine. He turned to call for his parents. But when he stepped into the hallway, he stopped. They were standing there. Not moving. Eyes closed. Perfectly upright. Sleeping. His father still held his phone mid-text. His mother's hand rested on the wall as though she'd paused mid-step. Ali's breath caught in his throat. "Mom?" he whispered. No response. He touched her arm gently. Warm. Breathing. But unreachable. Like a statue carved from sleep. Outside, a low humming began. Not loud. Not sharp. Just a steady vibration in the air. Eli ran to the front door and opened it slowly. The street looked wrong. A faint silver mist curled along the pavement, drifting between houses like it was searching for something. And above the town where stars should have been, the sky shimmered. As if it weren't real. As if it were a curtain. And something behind it was moving. The humming grew stronger. Eli felt it in his chest. In his bones. He stepped into the street despite every instinct screaming at him not to. The mist parted around his feet. He looked down. Tiny glowing threads connected each house. They ran from window to window, door to door, weaving a web of light over the entire town. He followed one with his eyes. It led upward. Into the sky. Where the curtain shimmered again. And then it tore. Just slightly. Enough for him to see. Behind the sky was not darkness. It was a vast, endless field of stars, but they weren't stars. They were sleeping faces, hundreds. Thousands. Peaceful. Still. Connected by glowing strands. Alder's End was not just asleep. It had been added to something. "You're not supposed to be awake," the voice came from behind him. Eli spun around. A girl stood in the middle of the street. About his age, barefoot. Wearing pajamas patterned with crescent moons. Her eyes glowed faint silver. "You can see it, can't you?" she asked quietly. Eli nodded slowly. "What is happening?" She looked up at the torn sky. "It comes every 100 years, she said. The gathering of what dreams." The word felt heavy. "The world has too much noise," she continued. "Too much fear. Too many lonely thoughts. So the Skyweaver gathers towns. Connects them. Makes them sleep together." Ali's stomach twisted. For how long, she hesitated. "Until the web is complete. And then Her silver eyes met his. Then the town doesn't wake up. The humming deepened into a pulse. The glowing threads tightened, pulling gently upward. Eli felt it tug at him, too. Like gravity had shifted. "But I'm awake," he said. "Why?" The girl studied him carefully. "Because you were looking at the stars when it began," he remembered. His constellation book. His flashlight. "I wasn't asleep yet," she nodded. "And now you're not fully connected." The mist thickened. Above them, the tear in the sky widened. More glowing threads descended, searching. Eli felt one brush against his shoulder. Cold. Tempting. His eyelids grew heavy instantly. "No," he shouted, shaking himself awake. The girl grabbed his hand. "If you fall asleep now, you'll be woven in permanently. What do we do?" She glanced toward the town clock tower. Its hands were frozen at 9:07. "If we break the center thread, it will unravel." "Where is it?" She pointed upward. At the brightest strand disappearing through the torn sky. Eli swallowed. "That's not reachable." The girl's grip tightened. "Not from here." The ground beneath them shifted. The mist rose like a wave. And suddenly, they weren't standing on pavement anymore. They were rising, carried upward by glowing threads like an invisible elevator. The houses shrank below them. The town became a toy model. The sky curtain loomed closer. And beyond it, the weaver. It was enormous. A being made of light and thread, with long luminous arms weaving strands between sleeping towns suspended like lanterns in an endless cosmic dark. Its face was calm. Not cruel. Not kind. Just ancient. "You disrupt the pattern," the weaver's voice echoed softly. Allie's heart pounded. "You're taking them. I am connecting them. They don't want this." The weaver paused. Below them, alders and pulsed faintly. "Loneliness weakens the world," the weaver said. "Togetherness strengthens it." "Not like this," Eli said firmly. The girl stepped forward. "They deserve to wake up." The weaver studied them. "You are unfinished threads," it murmured. "Then we choose," Eli replied. The central strand between Alder's End and the weaver glowed blindingly bright. Eli felt the pull intensify. His vision blurred. Sleep crept into his bones. He thought of his parents frozen in the hallway, of the bakery bell, of ordinary mornings. And he did the only thing he could think of. He grabbed the glowing strand. Pain shot through him like lightning. The weaver's arms stilled. The girl grabbed it too. "Pull," she shouted. They tugged with everything they had. The strand resisted. The humming roared. The sky cracked further. And then a snap. The central thread broke. The sound was silent, but everything shattered. The glowing web dissolved. There, suspended sleeping towns vanished. The weaver faded into distant starlight. Eli and the girl fell, and landed hard on the pavement of Maple Street. The mist was gone. The streetlights flickered back to warm gold. The clock tower chimed. 9:08 p.m. Porch lights blinked on. Televisions hummed. Dogs barked. His parents' voices floated from inside the house. "Eli, you still awake?" He looked around wildly. The girl was gone. Only a faint silver thread lay on the ground beside him before dissolving into dust. The next morning, no one remembered anything strange. The bakery bell chimed. The twins argued. Mrs. Calloway folded laundry. But something felt different, softer. As if the town had brushed against something vast and unknowable. That night, Eli lay in bed staring at the stars. He noticed one shimmer brighter than the rest. And for just a moment, he thought he saw glowing threads stretching faintly between distant constellations. Waiting, because somewhere in the universe, the weaver still worked. And one day another town might fall asleep together, but for now Alder's End was awake. And that was enough. Good night.